Hi traders, Vladimir here. This is the weekly forecast, 5th of March 2016. Actually, the week is about to start tomorrow, 6th, but I record and prepare everything already for today, so you have enough time to get your charts ready, to get your plan ready, and have enough time, well, to prepare yourself for all the opportunities we have, and we have a lot. So, let's start covering, but before we talk Forex, I do want to take the opportunity to wish all the women watching my videos and following me by my newsletter, club, community, this or another way. I want to wish you very, very happy Women Day to be on 3 days from now. Of course, depends on what time you are watching the video. So I wish you best, and you deserve the best in this world. And I wish you to be respected and loved by your loved ones, of course, so your life always smiles at you on any single moment. And this opportunity also to thank my wonderful wife for being next to me all the wonderful years. So happy Women's Day. So back to charts. I would like to start this week, not as always, with the amazing opportunity coming on gold. And we are on front of very interesting opportunity. Gold is trending up, and gold very likely will continue up. But here's the thing, since we are now in a convergence, we will be dealing with retraces and then continuation, maybe big retrace all the way to new highs. But before that, there is an opportunity coming on the short term, which I call special cycle. Now we have this triangle, which at the end broke up, and this. We are approaching to monster level, and this level is 1280, which we are almost there, and basically up to 13,000 plus minus. Of course, it could play in this zone, but this is the cycle that is about to end, and we will slowly but very steady start to build the positions down, anything in between 38 to back down to 50 Fibonacci of this entire area, this entire wave. Therefore, we might be dropping lower to lower time frames. Look for bearish divergence, which we currently have. Look for false break, which we currently have, and look for sell opportunities. Now, note, very fair to say that there might be chance one opportunity might fail, there will be another. Maybe another one will fail, maybe there will be another. But then once it hits, the profit is much bigger, because we expect, as I said, like if we drop this, we expect it to go all the way to this area. So failures could be this size, small size, profit could be much bigger, and I mean much bigger. And we can even improve the risk reward by dropping down to lower time frame, like for example 1 hour chart. Look for potential convergences, okay, like lower lows to be created, pullbacks and breaks. Now this way we will protect here. That would be our small risk, and the profit is all the way to here. So in these situations we could get 1 to 8, 1 to 10, sometimes even more risk reward. And this is exactly what we should be aiming for. It's all about the numbers at the end of the day. It's not about being right. Okay? There are cycles, for example. I'm wrong from the beginning. And I could be wrong 1, 2, 3, 4 times by my attacks. Some I might lose, some I might break even. But then when you catch the move, you enjoy the entire move down. And that's the secret. Secret is not about being right. It's about ending up the cycle with profits. Remember that. Okay? You are not going to store to buy whatever you want to buy because you were right reading the charts. you will be able to buy whatever you want to buy if you made money. Remember that. It's all about the end of the numbers. The number and the end. No one cares how many times you were right or wrong as long as you make money. Remember that. It's very, very important because many traders just tend to fall into this trap, psychological trap, and feel like, oh, I lost now. Oh, I lost again. I better leave it. And then, boom, it hits. That's how it works normally. So that's the first opportunity. That was gold. Next one is coming, and this is going to be one of my monsters, pound yen. Now here's why. Pound yen closed the gap. Gap is 162 plus. I want to remind you that according to monthly chart and weekly chart, there is no combo of divergences yet. Therefore, once there will be pullbacks, and pullbacks might take place like this even, we should have continuation. And that's why that's exactly a great time to start looking for short-term sells, because they might turn to be long-term sells. Now we are in a great place. Okay, what could turn to be here is that the pair will find some kind of opportunity like this, then deeper move, one more move to mirror this, and after that make a huge drop down. Doesn't matter how we turn it around, once it reaches the great levels, we should be looking for sells. It closed the gap. It now fighting the 161.8 Fibonacci expansion. So we could drop down to lower time frames and start looking for sell opportunities. Watching on a 1 hour chart, we can see we have tops, false break, we have the divergence. So from here, we might be looking for sells. Back to 38.2 of this entire move, that should be somewhere like here. That's where we will start to cash out slowly, but cashing out. And from there, only time will tell. Are we going for the new low, or are we going for another wave up, back to 166, 168, and then another continuation down. Now, what might happen here is we drop lower, another false break, okay, to make kind of recreate divergence here, just between these tops, and then start the move. Okay, so this is one pair to play with and pay attention to. Note, if we close above 162.60 and continue to rally without making the false breaks, just continue one way up, then of course we remove this cycle from the view zone, and then we might be dealing with double cycle, one more push, special cycle to here to rally above this place, then two waves down and one more push up before the next crash. So prepare for these opportunities for sales. Now I would like to go for a very interesting opportunity I find on my list, and I want to talk about pound Canadian. Pound Canadian is a bit tricky, but we have here two cycles, and this pair is bouncing, actually bouncing very well. Now take a look on this one. We are next to 161.8. Take a look on this one, which is the 4 hour chart cycle, and again we are next to 161.8. So it is a buy zone as long as last bottom holds. If it will not hold, then of course we will be looking for something like potential false breaks and then start to collect the buys. But as long as it holds, we still are after buys, not based on daily, because daily didn't provide any divergence yet, except kind of extreme, but the 4 hour chart did, and that's why we start to look to collect it. Now, we had actually this kind of movement was on a 1 hour chart, turned to be a convergence. Now, for first move, that's all right, that's enough, because we can say we have double cycle here, each of them separated by double by itself. We could expect some kind of mirror here back to this place, and this would be the place where we might start to look for longs. Of course, we will need some bullish divergence here and break of trend lines or false breaks like this, okay, there, and then we might start to look for this kind of wavement. Okay, and if it happens, perfect, we can buy. If it keeps dropping, we'll leave it alone all the way until we will get a bullish divergence on a daily chart. Watch this pair. It is going to be a very nice opportunity from my point of view. Now, talking about the pound CAD, it brings me back to dollar CAD. And this one also very, very interesting. Here is why. Remember this cycle? Now this one should be measured from here, but basically measured from here because this turned to be the convergence, the triangle, right? It was wave, triangle, and continuation. And take a look where the 61.8 is waiting for us, 132 approximately. Now, this took around 70 candles. This is going to be approximately 50 candles. Makes sense in terms of sizes. And if we break below, of course, we are going for duplication, which would be 128, and that's very reasonable, because I want to remind you that after this double cycle and the big triple cycle, we are going for a serious drop. So there is a chance yet we are going to here to create the first convergence, to complete this, then pull back, and then one more back to here. Yes, I know I'm talking for plans like for, I don't know, 1-2 years. But this is, we know, once we remember the direction, it's easy, it becomes easy to start to trade it. But on a short term, can we look to trade the bounces? Yes, and that's why I mentioned the 132. If it managed to stop and we gain this bullish divergence and we see the retrace up, building up false break or convergences like this, okay, or convergences on lower time frames, for example, let's take a look at 50 minutes. Just assume we are dropping down. Okay, sorry, that's not what I need. I need a pen, and here is the pen. Let's assume we are dropping down, and here we start to get convergence. MACD will follow us like this: positive, negative, positive histogram, higher highs, boom, 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 pull back and break off this trend line, and that's our risk, and the potential is all the way to here. So we could, that's exactly the situations where we could potentially get huge risk rewards. And that's once again brings me to the beginning of this video. Even if you lose 1, 2, 3, 4 opportunities, once you catch the move, the most important thing is don't be afraid to catch the move. Because once you have 1, 2, 3, 4 losses, you know, the human psychologist says, okay, I better leave it alone. But if you are correct on your cycle, you are going to be paid. And that's the most important thing here. It could be 4, 5, 6 times wrong in a row. And then boom, one great risk reward, risking 30, 40 pips, gain 300 pips momentum, and here you go. You paid extremely more than every risk. And that's the secret basically. And that's how it's done. Okay, so remember that. Basically, that's the entire idea of making money on the long run. Okay, so that's the dollar CAD. And as I said, if we just keep moving down below this 200 moving average as well, just continue lower, we are aiming the 128, which from we are going to fly, and fly very likely back to something like 136 up to 140 before again crash. Okay, so that's about the Canadian pairs. Now Euro CAD, I believe this pair has also one more reason for a low, like here, bullish divergence. That should be something like 143 down to maybe 139 approximately. I just want to remind you that's the cycles we have. That's the one. Our 161 is right here, and if we measure this cycle, nope, excuse me, that's not the one I need extended, of course. Measure this one, we also find that 161 is back to here. Oh, a lot of reasons why to look for potential buys there, so stay tuned. If dollar CAD finds bottom, there is a chance Euro CAD will as well. And that brings me to the next thing, and that's the Euro pairs. And basically, if you take a look, this week is going to be very, very, very important, because Draghi is about to have his speech, and that's going to be on Thursday. Okay, and basically The rumors said that Draghi might go for negative rates, official negative rates. He might bring in increased quantitative easings, QE program. Okay, so things might go very bearish for the euro, which bring me back to the euro dollar, which is looking for potential top before a crash. And now for euro, we kind of have a rare opportunity, because that might be it from top here and boom, new bottom. But there is a chance Draghi will disappoint and we are going for triple or even double back to 118. Keep that in mind, as we do have bullish divergence here, and as our cycles on the weekly still ranging after double big cycles down, so we might go into something like extended wave to here before the drop down. That's a chance we have to remember and keep in mind. So be ready for potential disappointment for Draghi. And then, if that happens, okay, then we have two scenarios here, of course. One, this cycle is about to end, divergence, and all the way to new bottoms. That's a possibility. Or Draghi disappoints, and we start the fly. Two scenarios, technically extremely well correct and explained well, easily. And we have to pay attention to, of course, closer to that we will see how it develops, but keep in mind both, and both can pay amazing. Keep an eye. Euro pound following the bearish cycle, nothing changed here, and as long as last top holds, we should be moving this way. Maybe if the Draghi bazooka comes, we are going for continuation down, calling this a top. And after all, don't forget, this is still bearish hidden divergence. So there is a chance we are going for a new bottom. I know it sounds crazy right now, but it's a possibility. So stay short and look to sell rallies as long as this top holds. Now, in terms of short term, we had the first triple cycle. We still might have this, or just continuation for triple, double, or so, aiming back to here, which is also Fibonacci level retracement of this cycle. We are aiming to here. That's approximately 0.74 zone, slightly higher than that. So two waves up, sell, drop down, and then we are switching this as cycle as wave number one, triple cycle, but wave number one of something bigger, and then it turned to be next. This is the first level, and this is the next one from here to here. Okay, this is the idea of this cycle. Let's see how it goes. If we get this opportunity, if for those of you who are short, of course, with me from the beginning of the week, last week we've been talking of this triangle, right? Sell the double waves here, and we got it, and we sell. Now, if we get this, sell again, and of course, pay attention to Thursday, the Draghi. Pound dollar. Well, is it over for the pound? Are the bears gave up on this pair? I don't think so. Not yet. For me, just a pullback of these two waves. Very reasonable. Very logical. We can get it even like 150 before drop down. I know it sounds a bit crazy right now, but it's doable. And the pound dollar right now, from my point of view, is creating neither triple cycle or special cycle. That is going to be one. That's a possibility for triple. We might get boom, boom, boom from here, and then continuation. Alternatively, we are going for a special cycle, which means this is going to be the scenario. Then we close the gap, maybe crossing above, and then sell back to 140 to 141, and then a rally. But I would say, while this bottom holds, look to buy dips. Okay, this is as for now, only as for now, of course, because we still need to mirror the cycle down. this cycle was like 17 candles, were currently only 4 or 5. So see the difference? Okay, this cycle 100 candles on the 4-hour chart. This cycle is only 20 candles. Got my point? And we have to mirror that. So in the short term, yeah, we might be looking for triple, as I said, or extended and then special. Okay, and then long again. So this is going to be kind of intraday opportunities during the week. That's for long term. Okay, Aussie dollar. Now Aussie dollar has an amazing bullish convergence, but MACD is not there yet. So let's see how this week opens. If we get new high, okay, new high with the MACD as well, then we can call it potential top. We will be looking for this double cycle to end somewhere. That should be something like 0.75 plus, maybe 0.76. From there, we are very likely going for pullbacks and then a rally. Now take a look on the daily chart because it's breaking out of the channel. So if it holds, pull back inside and we go for a buy. Buy that should take this double cycle on the weekly time frame and bring us back to 38.2, and that's above 0.80. It goes hand by hand so far with the fact that the gold has convergence as well. This trend line looked like a potential false break, so far so good. Everything depends if this convergence completes, yes or no, and it might be that this way. New Zealandian dollar also seems that finally will be ready for its duplication, even though I was bearish in my mind last week. And actually, I got failed on my opportunity. I was looking for this 2 cycle, and here, right on Friday morning, I was trying a short which failed for a few pips, but failed. This scenario failed, so now switching back to the bullish cycle. And the bullish cycle means we go for this, or we keep it in a range, which also yet a possibility, and therefore we might get a stop right here. Now I like the first scenario because if we take a look on here, if we take a look on this double cycle the entire way as it is, I will ignore the spike right here. Same zone. No, come on. Oh, here we go. Then this is the top, and if we measure this, then this will be the same top, right? So 0.70 is very, very, very powerful first zone to look for sell opportunities. If we cross above it, we go to 161.8, which is around 0.72, which will be very well supported by the gap that was there from the beginning of June. See that? Right here. So what's about to happen? We will have to see how it develops. 2 scenarios are possible, as I said, 1 continuation anyway. So as for now, we can, on the intraday, okay, on the very short term, that's the cycle we have. It's kind of special cycle developing here. We could get the pullbacks, and we are looking for buys on the very short term, of course. Then once we reach the top of the channel, that's 0.80, 0.68, and then 0.70, that's the top of this area. From there, we will be looking for pullbacks, potential big retraces, and if we are not having any, then we are going for 0.72. But then you can be sure Central Bank of New Zealand is going to intervene. They will not like rising prices, and if it happens, they are going to intervene for one more bottom, which very likely will come. Keep an eye. Very serious one. And of course the Aussie Kiwi, I keep only bullish view. I have nothing to say. You heard me saying it too many times. So for me, every drop down is a buy opportunity. Keep an eye. From my point of view, that's the only direction, the correct direction as well. here, of course. So let me check my list. That's what we discussed. That's discussed. Okay, oil continues to the upside. Not surprising. You know all the. Where is oil? Disappeared from my charts. Oil. Here we go. Nothing surprising here. You know my bullish view. I said it not once. And I believe this is the beginning, because that was a bullish cycle here. So we should get to 40. So we now broke out of this 4-hour chart ranging area, creating kind of convergence. So if on the beginning of the week you get pullbacks, buy. That's basically all I have to say. Pullbacks, buy. This was and remained the plan. For those of you who are long, with the convergence from the previous weeks we've been talking about, remember this convergence, right? We got the 2 pullbacks and we are rallying. So I suggest you keep that. There is a very big chance we're going now for 1, 2, big 3, 4, 5. Boom. Boom. Back to 60. I know it sounds crazy right now. Of course, I'm talking here for plan for like a half year up to year, but stay bullish. That's the only thing I can say at this stage. And as long as this bottom holds, of course. That was the plan. That remains the plan. S&P coming to monster trend line, a bearish hidden divergence. From my point of view, sell opportunity. That's expanded wave cycles. We have duplicated area right here, almost, right? We have this area right here as well. Okay, so we are after shorts. Now, if you remember at the beginning of the year, we've been saying there is a chance we are going to move in a range because of false breaks, few false breaks that appeared. And that's a scenario yet. But that means for me, yet every rally like we have is yet a chance, because the chance to the downside is way bigger than any buy chance. And then brings us back to the dollar yen, which we have few scenarios to this one as well. And one of them is now a range and a triangle. So if we could keep moving like this, prepare the shorts right after that. And that means that could turn to be range. But then break out below it, and we're going to 109 down to 107. So keep in mind this opportunity. Watch this triangle opportunity, as we might start the next wave down. And on a very short term, the Canadian pair that you know my bullish view for long run for this one, I believe we are going like this. You know my view, nothing changed here. Now on a very short term, completing the special cycle, which is this. Okay, we have a false break here, so we basically now might be looking for a potential convergence. If we go below this bottom at the beginning of the week, something like this, okay, then look for rallies, 2 waves rallies, trend line, and a break. Because special cycle, if we throw the lines here, we should be going for the area of 38 to 50, until we create divergence. So convergence, 2 waves up, break, and we are going to here. Of course, it's always relevant as long as this stop holds. That's the most important thing here. That will be all for this week, my friends. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed. I enjoy to create these videos every single week. You know that. That's the only reason I do it for you. I hope you have advantage. I hope you enjoy your trading and I help you to make profits. If yes, and if you have any feedback, comment, or question, feel free to write it down. And of course, I will reply as soon as I can. I'm here for you, for your success, and I will be very, very glad to help with any question you have. Feel free to share it with anyone you think can enjoy it and have a benefit out of it. It's free for you, for the community that wants just to have profit, exactly like me. So that's all. I'm here for you, my friend. Thank you once again, and I wish you a wonderful week. And once again, happy Women's Day to all the wonderful women around the world. I'll see you on the next weekend as well. Yours, Vladimir.